Welcome back to another day on the bus build. Today what we're going to be doing is quite a few quick tasks. Pretty much every goal is we have spray foam scheduled for the following Wednesday, which means we need to finish up all of our connections and wires that are going through the wall. First up is actually going to be the mini split right here. We need to get the line down and through the actual ceiling so that when we spray foam, all of those things are going to be waterproofed and sealed. We got the propane tank right here, and I actually already ran the line, and I'll show you how I do that when I went inside. Then we got to get the solar wires in and down to the solar location. And then a secret little project I've been working on for the past few days with my dad and Dale. We actually have a roof rack going on up here and with some railing. So that's what's on the agenda for today. Let's get into it. You think we figured out this AC thing yet?
I hope so. We figured out how we're going to do it. Whether it's right or not, we'll let you know at the end of the video.
So what we're going to be doing is taking this AC line, and the condenser mini split unit is going to go right here, and the condenser is up there on the roof. So we have to run the line and actually get it through the roof before we spray foam, because we want to make sure that we're watertight. I don't want to be spray foaming, then putting holes in the roof, and then trying to figure out, are we waterproof or not? So we're trying to get all these in, get them placed so that we can spray foam, and then when we start doing our interior building, then we can start actually finalizing it and getting it all done. So we're gonna have to start bending some of these AC lines, get them all installed, and figure this one out. All right, me and Dale just pulled the insulator off of our tubing here. And the reason why we did that is because we're gonna actually have to bend this pretty well. And I have a tube bender, which does not fit the insulation into it. It only will actually fit the copper tubing. So we pulled the insulation off so I can get a nice 90 bend, because we're gonna have to pass it through the ceiling. So now that we have these exposed, we're gonna be super careful because they will pinch, break, and crack super easy because it's thin walled copper. But we're gonna start getting on that, and we're gonna pass it right on through the roof and get it bent. So let's hope we don't have any pinholes and we have no kinks. Okay, after quite a bit of finagling, playing around, trying to figure it out, we got our lines all the way up here to where the mini split's gonna be setting. These lines eventually will be cut and flared and connected right here into the actual unit. But I hid them with Dale underneath the entire deck boards, and then it goes down into the ceiling. And by doing that, one, you won't see it from the outside, so they're completely hidden. And two, they're exactly where they need to be at this point. So what that means is now all we gotta do is get some connections, get some tie downs to get it all strapped together. And then that big roof rack right there and railing can actually go on top and kind of get all that final installed. So I gotta run to the store real quick, get some parts, get some pieces, and then this guy's getting strapped down and installed. Well, I just ran to the store, and unfortunately they didn't have any couplings for flare couplings for us to use. So pretty much what I ended up having to do is I'm gonna switch gears, and instead of connecting the coupling lines, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'll run to the store tomorrow morning to a different one out of town, and we're gonna run the lines, all the wiring that has to be running from the actual condenser all the way back to the unit. So I'm gonna have to get these in real quick. So run these right next to the other ones. And then while I'm doing electrical, I figured, hey, let's put the combiner box in for the solar so that that's all ready and in, because that's gotta go in before spray foam as well. So we're gonna start running these wires, start running the combiner box and solar wires, get them all in place, and then move on for tomorrow to get the rest of these ACs in. Yo, Dale.
Yo.
Good job, Dale. So at this point, we've got our solar combiner box in, our AC lines going to the air conditioner condenser are in, and that's a good list for the day, man. Oh, jeez. So we got our combiner box in right here, so eventually all of our solar wires are gonna come into this box and go down all the way to the location where the MPPT controller is, and just finished getting this guy in. So at this point now, it's gotta run to the store, get all the parts that I need to get all this tied down and connected correctly, and then we can install this, get all this wired up, get all this finalized and wired up, and get this deck board down. And once these deck boards are down, second coat of paint just went on the rails. I'm excited to get those up. But I think that's about it for today, and yeah, time to run to the store tomorrow morning and get back onto the deck. All right, just got back from the store. Got all the supplies that we need at this point to get everything tied down, get the roof tech done, and also, got some zip ties in your face, and then we can get the roof rack on up there. So, got the supplies, it's time to go up on the roof. Dale's gonna stay on the ground because,
I don't like heights.
Yeah, he doesn't like heights. So, I'm gonna go up on the roof and start installing these parts. Good morning. All right, I got my couplings in to splice back together the lines where we had to separate them to get them actually into the deck. So now that all the AC lines are completely run from the condenser that's gonna be back there into the mini split, which is directly below where I'm sitting, now we just gotta tighten it all up with some zip ties, some pipe connectors, or pipe holders, and just trying to make sure that it's nice and tight so when we put the deck boards back on, we're sure that if for some reason anything were to snag these lines, they're gonna be tucked up and away so that nothing can actually get to them. So now we just gotta make sure it looks all clean and get the deck boards put back down. It's official. All of the lines at this point in deck boards are down. Everything's tightened up, and I actually just put in something that I almost forgot to do. Right here, there's a little USB port right here so that when you're hanging up on the deck, you can charge your cell phone, you can charge your computer if you want to be up here. If I want to put a time lapse and put like a night shot of the stars, I can plug my computer or my camera directly into that port and I'll have power, you know, going all night. So definitely a cool little addition to add that in there. But at this point, before I actually mount down the actual mini split unit and the propane tanks, it's going to be actually easier to get the rooftop rack up here so at least it's in place. So in the background of doing this entire rooftop deck, me, my dad, and Dale have actually been building this entire railing system right here and test fitting this up on the bus. This thing took forever, but I'm super happy it's done. But now that it is done, completely painted and ready to go up, it's going to be that time where we pick that up, complain a little bit about how, you know, it might weigh a little bit, but then put it right up there so it is in place, and then we can actually screw it down and get it all setting correctly. So that's the next thing on the list. I'm gonna go find some help so that we can do this safely. Welcome to the first time of me sitting on the rooftop deck, and I'm literally sitting on the railing. I am so happy that this is finally up here. The next thing on the list is going to be, at this point, getting everything strapped down. So we've got to be putting lag bolts down into the 4x4s that were originally our deck trusses, and then we're going to be mounting down the propane tank, mounting down the mini split, and then this guy's gonna be all safe to go. And maybe we should, like, I don't know, maybe we'll take it for a drive or something. I feel like that's the thing you do every single time you finish something, is go take it for a drive, because it just makes you feel like you're almost done heading for the road. But it's up here, now we gotta strap it down. Well, the entire deck is completely done. You can see all the bolts. There's 5 on each side, and they all go down into the 4x4s. But at this point, I think the next thing on the list is to AC propane mounts. We gotta get those things down. But cool thing is, now we got a safe railing. There's still no ladder, but we got the railing. Well, and just like that, the mini split is tied down, bolted down, propane tanks are bolted down, roof rack is bolted down, and I mean, that's a huge accomplishment right there. Just to get this entire thing completely in and done, whew, that makes me happy. Dale, how's it look from down there?
Looks good from down here. You happy?
I'm ecstatic.
I'm happy too. 2 more little connections and I think we're done.
Well, and there it is. The deck is pretty much done for this point, except for the fact that we keep using this ladder to go up and down. And what I need to do now is, if you see up there, there's a little bit of a gap right there with a welded beam in. That's where there's gonna be a ladder going down right there, which means the rest of my day is gonna be getting this thing all sanded and painted so that I can take this ladder and weld it up in the next video. But I just wanted to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing the progress in this video. And in the next one, we're gonna be putting the ladder on and get it in spray foamed. See you next time.